Nonso Chinye, the 20-year-old who is famously known for his monster deadlift, he just did a crazy training total in the gym. He was repping insane weights. First of all, the squat, 347.5 kg for 2 reps. Crazy. Bench press, 205 kilograms for 2 reps. Crazy once again. But the most crazy thing was his deadlift, obviously, 405 kilograms for 2 reps. This was insane. We're going to talk a little bit more about this deadlift, but let's first talk about the total. 960 kilograms doubled. Bear in mind, Nonso Chinye's best total in competition is 965 kilograms, and now he's doubling basically this weight. The winning total at IPF Worlds this year was 957.5 kilograms in his weight class, the under 120 kilogram weight class. If you remember, at this event, Nonso Chinye narrowly missed to Etienne El-Shayir. It came down to his final deadlift. Unfortunately, I think he cramped on his final deadlift with 400 kg, and everyone would have thought that Nonso would have easily got this 400 kg, but because of the cramping, he was unable to get this lift. He was unable to win the World Championships, which would have been insane for a 20-year-old to win an open World Championships. But now Nonso has a problem, because if Nonso had pulled that final deadlift, then he would have got an automatic invitation to Sheffield, which would be insane. He would be the youngest man to ever go to Sheffield, the biggest event in powerlifting, which brings together the strongest 12 men and women in powerlifting. They go head to head to see who can break the world record in their respective weight classes by the highest percentage. But because Nonso didn't win at IPF Worlds, he doesn't get automatic qualification for Sheffield. However, there are 2 wildcard spots for Sheffield. These are spots that SBD thinks are going to be athletes that are going to make the event exciting. So basically, they want athletes who are going to go over the world record in their weight class and are going to fight for the podium. Nonso Chinye is going to try and make his point to prove that he can go over the world record in the 120 kilogram weight class, and he deserves a spot at Sheffield. Nonso Chinye is in the running for this wildcard. Sheffield literally just posted a reel saying that Nonso Chinye is fighting for a wildcard. How is he going to fight for this wildcard? How is he going to prove that he can go over 978.5 kg, the world record in the 120 kilogram class? Well, his next event is going to be a crazy event, the Avancus Houston meet in a couple of months' time on October the 11th. This is where he is going to try and go over that world record. This event, first of all, is going to be crazy. Why? Because this event is going to have a battle with all of the pound-for-pound kings of powerlifting right now. We have Austin Perkins, Rondell Hunt, and Joe Borenstein. These guys are going to compete against each other. The meet is scored by who can put up the most GL points, which is basically a formula which allows us to compare between weight classes, and we are going to see who is the pound-for-pound king at this event. However, we also have some big names, for example, Adeon Missakin and obviously Nonso Chinye. Nonso Chinye is going to compete at this event, and I don't think he'll be able to beat Rondell in the 120 kg class. Nonso's only 20, and he's on the right path to being able to beat Rondell, or at least be competitive with Rondell, but Rondell is extremely strong, so I don't think there'll be a battle between these two to see who will win the total battle, but there will be a battle to see who will have the biggest deadlift. Rondell recently doubled 400 kg, and I would say it was a little bit more difficult than Nonso Chinye's 405 kg. So right now, I would say that Nonso's deadlift is probably a little bit stronger than Rondell's deadlift. Both of these two actually have had a slight problem, not a massive problem, with pulling their third attempts. So it will be very interesting to see who ends up with the biggest deadlift. I'm pretty sure one of these guys is going to go over the heaviest deadlift in IPF history, which I believe is 411 kg. I think both of these guys have the strength for 420 kg. But yeah, that's going to be very exciting to see who comes out with the bigger deadlift at this event in October. But the real question is, will Nonso get the wild card for Sheffield? And like I said, he has to go over 978.5 kg, probably by a big margin, in order for SBD to justify bringing Nonso to Sheffield. Can Nonso do this? Well, after looking at him repping 960 kg for doubles, I think that this is very possible. He said in his caption, I think he said 1,000 kg justified or something like that. And definitely, I think that Nonso Chinye probably could do 1,000 kg at this event. I mean, he doubled 960 kg, so we could probably add 10 kg onto each lift, and that would give him 990 kg. With a peak and a taper, he could probably do 1,000, maybe even 1,010 kg. And if he did an 1,000 kg total and also finished off with a massive deadlift, I'm pretty sure SBD would seriously consider bringing Nonso Chinye, because, I mean, people want to see a massive deadlift. Plus, if he can go over 1,000 kg, this means that at Sheffield, he will probably be able to beat 978.5 kg by more than 2%, which would make him pretty competitive at Sheffield. But because not many lifters that are going to Sheffield right now can convincingly go over the world record in their weight class, let alone by 2%. So definitely, if Nonso can go over 1,000 kg at the Avancus meet in October, then I think that he has a good chance of getting an invite to Sheffield. And it would be very cool to see Nonso at Sheffield. Sheffield is in England, so it would be a home crowd, which would be even more insane for Nonso to be there. But yeah, overall, I can't wait to see what Nonso does at this Avancus Houston meet. Also, one more thing, if you're watching Nonso, thank you very much. You guys should know, Nonso is a real one. Basically, at my last event, after my first squat, my legs started really cramping. It was terrible. But Nonso happened to be at the event, and out of everyone at the event, the person that helped me stop the cramps was Nonso. Which was a big privilege to get help from the best deadlifter, maybe in the world right now. But also, like, yeah, he's a real one for taking out the time, because he had someone that he was handling. He's a real one for taking out the time to help me out when I didn't have anyone that could help me out. So I thank you very much, Nonso. You guys should know that Nonso is a very kind person. And yeah, I would love to see him compete at SBD Sheffield as a fan. So thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. If you guys want to support the channel, use code Toby on Odyssey mats. They are actually insane. Nonso Chinye actually uses them. They basically stop your back from slipping. They replace chalk. Really good if you lift in a commercial gym. Would highly recommend. Code Toby. Thanks very much.